Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving headfirst into the amazing world of aquaponics, that incredible system where fish and plants work together in this beautiful self-sustaining loop. And we're going to uncover the single biggest secret to making it all run smoothly. So let me ask you a question. When you look at a big, beautiful aquaponic setup, you see all those lush, green plants on top. What do you think is the most critical piece of that entire puzzle? Now, your first instinct is probably to say the plants, right? And hey, that's a great guess, but it's not actually the right answer. The real heart of the system, the thing that makes everything else possible, is the living engine that powers the whole cycle. And today, we're going to lay out the exact blueprint for keeping that engine in perfect shape. That's right, we are talking about the fish. They're not just swimming around in there for decoration. They are the absolute indispensable core of this whole operation. And this quote just nails it. The fish are the driving force. It's their waste that becomes the fertilizer, the fuel that makes everything else grow. It's really simple when you think about it. No happy, healthy fish, no successful system, period. Okay, so if the fish are our engine, how do we keep them running in top condition? Well, it all starts with building them the perfect home. Now, choosing the right species for your setup is step one. Let's just look at two really popular choices here. You've got tilapia. They're tough as nails, grow fast, and are fantastic little nutrient factories. Then you have goldfish, also super hardy, but look at that temperature range. They can handle much cooler water, which makes them absolutely perfect for beginners or for systems that don't have a heater. But here's the thing, and this is so important. You can pick the absolute perfect fish, but if you don't get a handle on their invisible environment, the actual chemistry of the water, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And that brings us to the famous nitrogen cycle. So, everything kicks off with ammonia. This is what the fish produce as waste, and for them, it is incredibly toxic. The best way to think about it is like trying to breathe in a room that's completely filled with smoke. It burns their gills, it causes all sorts of stress. Your goal for ammonia? Always, always zero. Next up, some awesome beneficial bacteria get to work and convert that toxic ammonia into something called nitrite. Now, this is a necessary step in the process, but we are not in the clear yet. Nitrite is also really dangerous because it gets into the fish's bloodstream and literally stops their red blood cells from being able to carry oxygen. So once again, our goal for nitrite is a big fat zero. And finally, this is the moment we've been waiting for. A different type of bacteria shows up and converts that toxic nitrite into nitrate. This is the prize. This is the good stuff. Nitrates are pretty much harmless to your fish, but more importantly, they are the 5-star superfood that your plants are craving. This is that magic moment where fish waste becomes clean water and perfect plant food. All right, so we've got the right fish and we understand the water chemistry. Now let's talk about the fuel we put into the engine, the fish food, and more importantly, how getting this one simple thing wrong can lead to total system failure. I'm going to give you the golden rule of feeding your fish. It's so simple, you'll never forget it. If there is any food floating around in that tank after 5 minutes, you've fed them too much. That's it. It is an incredibly simple but powerful rule to stop you from making the #1 mistake in aquaponics. Because when you overfeed, you set off this horrible chain reaction. See, that extra food just sinks to the bottom and starts to rot. That decay process releases a massive, sudden spike of ammonia into the water, completely overwhelming your good bacteria. Suddenly, the water's toxic, your fish are stressed out, their immune systems crash, and just like that, the entire delicate balance of your little world can collapse. And this is why the most powerful tool you have isn't some fancy water testing kit, it's your own 2 eyes. You need to learn how to read your fish, how to speak their language, because they are constantly telling you everything you need to know about the health of their world. I mean, just look at the difference here. Healthy fish, they're active, they're swimming around, they rush to the surface for food, their gills are moving at a nice, steady pace. But stressed fish, they tell a totally different story. They're sluggish, they hide in corners, they won't eat. You might even see them gasping at the surface for air, or erratically swimming and scratching their bodies against things in the tank. That's a classic sign that something is really irritating them. And it's not just how they act, it's how they look. A healthy fish has bright, vibrant colors, and its fins are fanned out and relaxed. A stressed fish, its colors might look faded or strangely dark. You want to see clear eyes and smooth skin. Any red streaks, spots, sores, or cloudy eyes are major alarm bells telling you to investigate. So, you see, what this all comes down to isn't just about chemistry and biology, it's really about responsibility. And that brings us to our final pillar, which is a really simple ethical framework that applies to any animal in our care, fish included. These are known as the five freedoms of animal welfare, and really they're just common sense. They state that an animal should be free from hunger, discomfort, pain, and fear, and it should have the freedom to just be itself, to express its normal behaviors. And the beautiful thing is, when you master your water quality, your feeding, and their environment, you are automatically providing all five of these freedoms for your fish. And this is where it all comes full circle. The whole system is completely interconnected. When you focus on the well being of the fish, you guarantee that they produce just the right amount of nutrients for your plants. And that, in turn, guarantees you'll have healthy, thriving plants. It's a perfect, balanced little world in miniature. And it all starts with happy fish. Which kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? An aquaponic system is this tiny, closed loop ecosystem where every single action has a very clear and immediate consequence. So, if we can learn to master that delicate balance on such a small scale, what could that teach us about how to manage the much larger, much more complicated ecosystems that we all depend on out there in the real world?